Back of the Bus podcast coming to you with a comic book review. We catching up on X-Men Red, issues 15 and 16. As always, I got with me my guy, my OG, my comic book librarian, my comic book historian. I ain't saying, I'm just saying, Mr. Theo Butler.
Good, popping, cracking, percolating. What's going on, people? What's going on? We in here. We in here. We in this bitch.
I got Theo the cuss. Oh, man. All right, well, shit. Let's start it off then. Starting on issue 15, right? Of the two that we're going to review, even though I think the second one has the bigger reveal, I like this one a little bit better because of the backstory that we have been long awaiting. Like, I mean, we've been waiting on this backstory for a while, and they still didn't give us everything, but they gave us enough. Like, now I have enough on the character, right? So this is the backstory, essentially, of the Fisher King.
Yes,
And
it is.
how he survived the pits of Amos, right? He befriends a few different characters along the way, has a few betrayals, has some resistance, but really just kind of laying out his path to where he is now to kind of be the wise elder statesman that he is on Araco. You kind of get the brief discussion here with him and this like brain eating mutant thing, whatever. Somebody is locked up. And then we go back to them discussing kind of what's happening on the war front. I think it's interesting that like they still got this little strip of Araco where they know damn well they better not go over there, and that's where Iska be at.
Right. Listen.
And it's so bad that like she's also taking people in like for protection. Like it's people living under there. Like, all right, cool, we ain't trying to fight for real, so we know they ain't coming over here. We good.
Man, listen. I don't know how. If anybody know who she is, like that's the thing. It's people that know Iska. It's people that know Iska. Knowing who she is, you still trying her gangster. And it's like, man, no. She said, don't come over there. Don't come there. Don't get near there. Don't fly over there. Don't swim there. It ain't gonna go right.
We get the introduction between Fisher King and Cora's mother, Sora with a Z and a silent S. That is just a. Why would you even do that? Why is the silent S there? Why y'all trying to do this to me? It just seems like overkill. She interrupts Fisher King from making an attempt on Tarn's life. Once again, we get another Iska reference. It seems that this was maybe one of those rare opportunities where Tarn could have been, we could get him up out of there. We could free everybody. But, that is from a young, overzealous mind and probably not thinking it through, thinking about how badly that could go. And,
right.
And Zora interferes, right? Saves his life probably. That's the first introduction we have there. And then we're still doing this back and forth thing. I do like the territory map on the data page.
Right.
Kind of showing like how everything's going. Brotherhood is still kind of surrounding, kinda, if you add in Iska's territory, Genesis, and keeping them towards the water. But Genesis kind of has a stronghold, and she's growing quickly. So
you see how me and you looking at this map? Why would you go if you can see Iska's land right there? Why would you go over there? I just figure it out. Do it another way. Leave her alone. She ain't losing.
But they low key in between a rock and a hard place because down here, Storm and the Brotherhood, they kind of breaching on them right now along the edge of Iska's joint. They can't really do that. They ain't got no way to do that for real. They caught in between the Vial and Iska's spot. Anyways, enough reading war maps. I see. The staff is still whispering to Genesis. She is approaching by water, which I don't think the high table or the quiet council or what do they call it? What is Araco's council called? The
don't make me lie to you.
The something seats, the seats of the Great Ring, the Great Ring. Ring. I don't think that they anticipated a 100-foot Swamp Thing monster.
Yeah.
Exactly, they definitely weren't talking about it.
Yeah,
Okay.
my dog is definitely big. Definitely.
We got a Peeper reference. Peeper is popping up. They're still doing repairs on the keep sword station, which has been noticeably absent, right? Which is low key a cop out because we could really be making some strides with that. Um, but I guess for plots purposes, we gotta kind of keep that on the hush.
Did Aurora not play the radio? Like, did she not really play? Like,
Which means,
I was like, what she did to the behemoth, to that big behind creature.
okay, yeah, you skipping ahead. I was getting ready to ask you, was there anything in this Tarn conversation that was particularly important? Not Tarn, Solemn, the dude, the make everybody love him. He's like Star Fox with adamantium skin. I think what's happening here in this conversation with Solemn is that they're getting information on Iska and Genesis and their travel movements to try and plan an attack.
Right.
Essentially, Zora is counseling against it. She thinks the information is too good to be true. Plus, Solemn is a liar. He's a lying liar with a lying face, and
Say
they
he
they
suffered
just
from
don't trust it.
you say he suffered from diabetes?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely
Okay.
for sure. Okay, so back to what you were talking about, right? Swamp Thing versus Storm, and she's really had some great feats in X Men Red. Like she been showing off a tad, just a bit, you know, like turned herself into like pure energy.
I mean,
She was
I
fighting
was
Vulcan. She sucked up all the moisture out of the atmosphere and stored it in the ground for when she needed it later.
can
So
we ask a question? Because I'm not gonna mention any names, but another YouTuber was talking about how powerful she is. Could she have a standalone comic? I mean, a successful standalone.
with the actual concept that people would pay attention to, so
Yep.
not whatever the hell Steve Orlando shit was. Yes,
Yep.
absolutely.
Okay.
I think she is the second most, if not the most, in certain situations. You talk about some of these X Men events, these X Men stories. Um, Most popular black character in all of Marvel. So yeah,
I,
absolutely, 100%. And the fact that it hasn't happened or isn't really slated to happen for anybody notable is kind of a travesty.
I think there's still, and I think you and I have talked about this before off camera and everything like that. Not just with other black characters, but including Aurora. I think there's still a lot of meat left on the bone that we have as of yet to familiarize ourselves with. I think if I had to look back, I think by and large, any solo story we've gotten of Aurora Monroe always includes the X-Men, some type
Mhm.
of reference to the X-Men. Not where we get to find out who she is. All we know is she
Somebody
claustrophobic.
the X Men. Yeah.
We know she claustrophobic. That's what we know.
And
I
that
think
she
we
was
what
stealing.
yeah, what I think she like 4
Claustrophobic.
days
Her
all
parents
times.
dead. Her parents dead. And she was stealing as a youngin.
Yeah.
Giant ice dagger right through the cranium. That was brutal.
Yes, it
Uh,
was.
just another one to add to the list. The whole thing with Magneto, where we were keeping the electromagnetic current going in his chest in replacement for his heart.
hmm
Oh, in the end, we just we took care of Uranos as a mutant circuit. Me and Magneto together. Light work, light work. Um, that wasn't a coincidence, by the way, with the Uranos drop. We gonna get to that here in the next issue. But obviously, the attempt on Genesis's life was unsuccessful. They were caught, just as Zora thought that they would be. I believe that they think that Solemn sold him out, which again, Solemn is a lying liar with a lying face, and Zora tried to tell y'all not to go there, but she
Absolutely.
did instead. Um, they basically bring in the kiddos to watch their mother perish, and famine takes her out, which is nuts, which is sick, pretty sick. But it adds to the tragedy of the fisherman's story, man. Like we were all kind of wondering like where this, this calm, kind of stoic, calculated, wise guy came from. Like it sounds like he has a deep, dark history, and these are the building blocks. This is it, right? A history of resistance and revolution, but also loss and tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
Hurt. Oh, and that is his daughter. That's his daughter with the head. Now I remember the forehead now, and that
Mm-hmm.
was definitely the beginning where they are talking about, why she doesn't care for her father anymore. That seems to be it right there. Okay, so it seems that the back to present day here. It seems like the giant fish monster was a distraction for what is happening now, right? After Storm takes it out, there seems to be a gate growing out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And just like last time, this happened to them where random gate just kind of popped up out of nowhere and Genesis popped out. Oh, now Genesis gang then rolled in. It is the hordes of Amos led by Apocalypse's horsemen, but once again, oh no, I'm sorry, not just the hordes of Amos. The hordes of Amos accompanied by the White Sword. Did you see him peep him in the middle?
Yes, sir.
The White Sword, all the summoners, and the hordes of Amos, and all being led by Apocalypse's horsemen, Apocalypse's children. Um, so no apocalypse,
No
no
apocalypse.
apocalypse.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
I,
That's a good
I,
thing.
well, we know that he's not on their side, right? I
Right.
want to know how this happened. I want to know how Genesis fell to the helm again. How she got it off Apocalypse's head. Was she just being thirsty? Like, no, I was leading this before you came back. Give it back, and then it took her body over. Is that what happened?
Well, you know
I
what?
need to know.
Um, that could be it because she's definitely shown herself to be susceptible to either the scepter or the helm. So, um, it's possible. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. We're gonna make it do what it do.
I mean, let's not even let me take a break, man. Let's get on to number 16 of
Absolutely.
X Men Red. Yeah, man. So we already know that we are in the middle of a civil war once again, just like we touched on in the last issue. And in the middle of that, there are refugees being heralded off of Araco. Seems like one of the main transporters is NASA's Craig. What's his last name? Craig something. Craig of NASA is what they be calling him. Yeah, let's just call him that. Craig of NASA, getting people on and off of Rocco, or off of Rocco. He has those kids with him, the kids that he saved. Do you remember who these people are? I remember seeing them.
Well, I'm thinking
I
that
feel
the
like
chick with the older young lady. That's oh boy, that's Fisher King's daughter. I don't know
daughter,
who the
right,
rabbit
right,
is.
right. Okay.
I don't know who the rabbit is. I don't know who the dude looking like a bare-chested Hawkeye. Um, and I don't know who the two young kids are. But
I feel like maybe when they were to her, to recruit her when they needed help fighting Abigail Brand at first,
mm-hmm.
that they were there. So maybe they're just her companions or her group and whatnot. Apparently, Old Girl has not spoken since the initial attack from the Eternals, and whatever Fisher King's daughter wrote down on that piece of paper and handed to Old Girl made her feel good enough to start speaking again. So shout
Yeah,
out to her
absolutely.
and her therapeutic nature. Oh, excuse me. So there's a problem. They think that they're going back to Port Prometheus. We ain't going back there because ain't no Port Prometheus. War has put down a bath of fire over that entire region. They got gargoyles flying around. It's the whole hell scene right now.
That's
Um,
exactly what they say one time. That's an accurate description. That's it. Yeah.
yeah, the whole hell thing. And so, even though it seems pretty efficient to me from what I'm seeing, I see people burning in the damn streets.
Yeah.
Famine says, yeah, but you ain't doing it right though. This is how you really do it.
Yeah.
He
You
says
ain't putting enough.
you ain't doing it right. Get off of that for a second. Auntie Fisher King or Spry. Is it Spry? What's her name? SZA. SZA the Smoke. SZA the Smoke.
Mhm.
Or Auntie Fisher King. She pops in on my boy Kobach, right? Who's getting toasted, but he's also going to get saved by her. But what she's really there for, Kobach's just lucky that he's there because that's not what she's there for. She's there for something special, a weapon that can maybe turn a tide here against the Horseman. What was your first thought before she even mentioned what it was? What was she going back for? Did you think about it? Did you call it before she said it? Did you already know what she
What
was going back for?
we read Acts, we read it, and we read what occurred in Acts, and you knew that he doesn't write just to be writing. Um, and X-Men Red has been one of the more consistent, um, in my opinion, has been one of the more consistent reads this year. So at some point, you knew it was going to pay off. There just had to be a big enough reason for it to pay off, and this is it.
Mm-hmm.
This is so. If it wasn't this event, then it would have been another event later on down in the Fall of X. Like, hey, could you use him against Nimrod?
Hey, so my thought was when they got the Uranos key, you kind of you kind of felt like they were going to need it in another warlike setting because what else do mutants do if not fight for their lives? But I didn't want to see them immediately turn around and have to cash that in because that's a big thing. Uranos and all of his armor and all his armories for an hour, and then he go back when he's done. Right? You could lay waste to all of your enemies in an hour with Uranos and all his armor. It's also interesting that there was a great debate between amongst them at Araco about whether or not to even accept this gift from the Eternal. And so when they finally boiled down to it, they found it like, okay, it was just a meaningful gesture to try to make amends for what they did do. And even still, let's say worst case scenario, we could turn this back on them if we need to. So like it's not really a lose situation for us in this regard.
At
Um,
all.
but I think it's really the thing that really kind of sent it home for me is that the fact that even just touching the Uranos trigger, the key, gets you a direct link to Uranos. That's freaky. That's crazy. Like like imagine like unlocking your computer or unfreezing it from the screensaver or whatever, and then just be like, hey, unlock me, unlock me, unlock me. Nah, you Theo. I see you, man. Don't try to walk away. Unlock me.
Hey, can we ask who is that laying in the background?
That's Derek. That's Derek. Well, you know that's Derek.
Hey, boy. Hey, boy, that thing look hard. Hey.
Yeah, no, he got tortured. He probably was stretching him over that damn thing for millennia.
Boy, good God about it. Boy,
You know,
goodness,
no,
boy.
it's all bad. That's his grandson too, and that's nuts. Oh my goodness. Um. So yeah, he's talking in her ear like, look, man, just go ahead, pull that trigger, let me out of here for an hour, and we can go ahead and get this done. All your enemies will be laid to waste. My thing is, okay, the last time he came out, he didn't need nowhere near that hour.
He
I felt
did.
like most of it was done in like 20 minutes.
He did. And
What
they
is
said,
he doing with the
like,
rest of the time then? And then what is he doing? What would he be doing after he take out Genesis and them? What would he do with the rest of that time?
mind you, it's interesting that you brought that up because that time that he had to himself has not been accounted for yet.
And he's all too eager. And once again, upon anybody even coming close to this thing, hey, go ahead, do it. Watch this. Come on, do it.
That's a burn the house down move.
Like, I mean, we gotta be on our absolute last leg, a few omegas down. Like, it's gotta be real bad. It's just dangerous, man. It's real dangerous.
Now,
Um,
here's the other thing that you think about. You can't beat him. Now, if
nah,
you
like if he don't want to go back in, he ain't go, you know. But I mean, I
can,
think he has to. I think he has to because of the trigger. But if you can find a way around that, yeah, no, it's over. Like you just
Right,
unleashed
bro. Think about
the
what you
worst possible
said.
thing you could in the world.
He watch this, and we of course this comic book we talking. But say they let him loose, and he only needs for an hour. He only need 20 minutes again to deal with all of them. Okay, well he got 40 minutes to spend on you. No, I'm not doing that. Not doing that. Don't make no
I'm gonna
sense.
just lay all of y'all to waste.
Right.
Um,
Right. There we go. Exactly.
Roberto is having a pity party with Fisher King. Fisher King basically tells him to nut up, and we ain't got time for that. Hammond is showing War how it's done, and he has a 1,000-foot tidal wave. He's gonna wash all over Port Prometheus. I feel bad for whoever was still down there because it's well over with. Like if you somehow survive the fire, like you just to get drowned, that seems unfair. But
That's
then
pretty much.
it seems like Storm is done playing. She done messing around. She's like, okay, y'all have shown me that mercy is not on the table. So let me show y'all how I get down when I don't show mercy. Right? One lightning strike sends famine to the ICU. She sends a wind tornado towards Ward, takes her flame away and turns her into a stack of bones. And it isn't until Death pops in and is like, hey, yo, chill. First of all, you ain't even kill him. You sweet. Like, what's wrong with the Akri? What's really wrong with them, man? Like, so she came in and dealt some death blows, only they weren't death blows because she didn't completely take them out. But that's your brother and sister, so you egging her on? Like, you gonna pop out and be like, hey, they ain't even dead. You ain't even do it right. You didn't even do it right.
Like I don't know what they got going on because it's like, you know what? Never mind. I'm not gonna do that because I get in trouble.
Like you can't even kill my brother and sister right.
They got family issues, man. They got issues, man. They wasn't raised in a good home.
No, it's crazy. And then so Death challenges Storm, right? Because he's seeing that she's not really killing them anyways, and he's like, all right, well, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it right. Pestilence is sitting in the back, kind of eyeballing the situation. She doesn't really want the whole challenge thing. She doesn't really believe in the rules. She thinks the rules only exist to serve them. Typical rich kid privilege stuff, you know. Um, as she's firing her poison arrow, she actually hits Richard Rider in the chest. So Nova goes down. Does this mean Nova's dead? I think this means Nova's dead because they're not resurrecting Nova. They ain't resurrecting Nova.
Man,
No.
listen. You know what? Because
No.
you know what? We didn't. There was, and one shall surely die on the front of the comic book. Ain't been no big deal about this. No. You know what? Okay, he might be dead for right now. If he dead, he'll be back.
Sure. Shout out to Richard Rider for taking one for Aurora, man. We love
Hey,
you for that, bro.
Richard, your action figure is gonna be coming to the house soon, brother. So we gonna get you with the rest of the new Warriors, Rage and Night Thrasher. We gonna get Namorita here in the house and everything. Firestar, you gonna be good, bro. Justice, we got you, big dog. Don't worry. Speedball.
Now, after Pestilence gets done talking her spoiled shit, Death pretty much deads her for interfering. So I think we down 3 out of the 4 horsemen, 2 of which are incapacitated. One is just dead. Like, bye Pestilence. SZA gives the trigger back to Aurora, and here comes your boy URANOS trying to politic again. Like, hey, listen, man, you give me that hour, I will shred every bit of your enemies right here in front of me. You give me an hour, and it will be done. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Just let me out. Let me out.
She said, I can't listen to the dude no more.
She talking her whole ear off. Talking her whole ear off. But
hey, I can't listen to the dude no more.
she's holding on. She's holding on. And Uranus knows they kind of got her by the short and curly. Just like either do this or die. It's kind of where they at, right? But where they at? Because somewhere in the Autumn lands, right? And I believe the Autumn places where is near where Magneto's place was at, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Magneto's mansion was in Autumn Place. So it's very fitting that the reemergent out of this new gate that grew out of nowhere, this seems to be a common theme in this book now. We got none other than your boy, Apocalypse.
Yeah.
With,
Yeah.
without his scare,
Mm-hmm.
without the helm, obviously, because of Genesis has it, and with some shadowy figure in the back flanking him. Now, who the hell is that? Who the hell is that? I don't even
Look.
think I noticed that the first time I read this. Who is that?
Listen, don't make me lie to you, because that's exactly what it's gonna be.
And I was an X-Men junkie, very close to the back when they first rebooted the X-Men with the Tenosaur and Cinevac. So they were Tenosaurs. What was it? The Power of X and Tenosaur, whatever. Anyways, y'all know what I'm talking about. And I was buying all of the books pretty early. And when I was reading Excalibur, one of the little side plots outside of the Betsy Braddock Cat and Britain thing was he's a mutant that has the power to control like seismic shifts in the ground. He can control the rocks and stuff like that. Richter. Right?
Got him. Got that action figure.
So
Got him.
Richter had gotten very close to Apocalypse. Apocalypse was showing him magic and how to enhance his powers, right? And when Apocalypse went away, he got really down on himself. He got really dark. You know, he was acting all depressed, and he started wearing a cloak. Is this Richter? Because I haven't seen Richter, but I've been hopped off the Betsy Braddock Captain Britain train. I haven't seen him in a while, but that could be Richter back there. If not, I don't know who the new shadowy figure is.
We gonna find out. I'm with you. I want to know who that is myself. Dadgum. You know, we did leave a member of, and you know, of course, she wasn't able to get free, but there was another member, another child of Apocalypse that was held captive. She was put in a bottle, because she messed around and broke something that belonged to somebody else. So I ain't saying.
What we talking about?
Remember she was supposed to compete against one of the X-Men, but she broke something. So I think Matt Jasper actually imprisoned her.
He's talking about Red Root. They saved her though. They went and got her. She's back in Morocco. I don't know where she at. But that wasn't one of the horsemen though. That was just she was on the Great Ring at that time. She was on the Great Ring.
Okay, you know what? Then I don't know that. I'm gonna say it right there.
That Red Root is the only one. So you know how Doug Ramsey is the only one that could talk to Krakoa?
Mm-hmm.
She's Arako's Doug Ramsey.
You said they went back and got her. Okay. Mm-hmm. Look, that was a comic that I didn't read. That's what that was.
Wasn't that? Did they not go back and get her? Hold on, let me check myself before I just be out here saying stuff. In July, it happened in July. They freed her in July. They went on some kind of mission in Otherworld. Freed her.
Okay. That's X-Men Red.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, you know we got Marvel Ultimate Unlimited. I'm gonna say Marvel Unlimited. So we gonna catch up on that. Good looking. Make sure I get that tonight. Check up on that tonight.
You know what? We didn't read it because it actually happened in New Mutants. That's who did it. That's probably why we don't remember. It happened in New Mutants. I ain't reading that.
Did it say which issue?
Hold on.
Got to read that. Got to go read that.
Oh, okay. So there was like a yeah, I remember that book. An X-Men Unlimited. It was like a little one shot where like there was like three Krakoan Iraqi related stories in there, and on the last one it was talking about how they went and got Red Root. but it was the New Mutants that went and did it. It was like um, old girl with the sword, magic, and all of them.
You said X-Men Unlimited. Hold on.
This is according to Reddit.
The life of a comic book fan.
Otherworld be a thrown away character, but however, Marvel saw my post saw more potential in her, especially before the Fall Heroes of Apocalypse Genesis arrival. Her voice might be needed even more. Rocco. First of all, we finally comes to conclusion next video.
I ain't got it.
Yeah, I may dig into the boxes and pull it out. But anyways, yeah, that's what happened to Red Root. Any other thoughts on X-Men Red now that we are all caught up and now that we have our first apocalypse sighting in this whole Civil War thing?
No, man. You know what? I'm interested to see what role. I think you and I have discussed it before. I think the big thing is we don't want to see the characters take a step back, which is crazy because it looks like that might be the direction they're headed after Fall of X based on the images, the preview images that they're showing. I don't know how that's going to play out. But I'm interested to see. I like his growth. I like the direction of Apocalypse as a character. I'm interested to see where they go. I want to see how this plays out between him and his wife. Because that's a messed up family. Like, brother done already took out his sister like it was nothing. Like, you took your sister out? And I'm thinking she dead for real.
Yeah. I'd say so. All right, y'all. Well, we will be back doing another issue of X-Men Red here next month. Tell us what you thought about the book and the review. Put it in the comment prompt below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Come back. Man, what is it? It's the end of October, so next couple of weeks.
We ain't saying, we just saying.